So let's begin. We'll connect to breath. And then the breath change is a vital signal that we're moving into ceremony. We're moving into different time. We're moving into different way of attending. So get that breath deep. Then grow the skull bones up from the spine bones. Feel a quality of space getting magnified underneath the skull. So letting those skull bones breathe, letting that the brain and its fluid has its own way of respiring and moving. And now let's take the next few moments, breath moments. Check that your breath moves ribs, which in turn fluctuates, moves your spine joints. So start with the upper back. And go a little lower and feel that the mid-back the mid-spine bones, that they're reflecting this greater breath motion occurring through the lungs and the ribs. It's reaching and moving the spine. And go a little bit lower, the lower mid-back. And the low back. So we're moving out of that rib territory, but we can still breathe and feel that the low back bones respond. All the way down to the sacrum. So here's where we relax the abdomen to feel that breath dispersing through the lower abdomen. And then one or two more breaths. Find out if you can reach the tip of the tailbone. So let's uncross our legs. We'll lie down. And we're working twisted root abs. So we'll go left over right. That's left knee over right knee. Hooking foot behind calf if able. And with hands interlaced behind the head. Inhale, head and shoulders off the ground. And exhale, shift the tailbone toward the sky. Kind of pressing, working leg into leg. Draw the low belly down. And inhaling. Exhale. Curling the tailbone. Working leg into leg. The thigh bones lifting up. Feel for that. The heels will remain knee height or lower, a little bit lower. Inhaling into the low back. And exhale. Working leg into leg, pressing one into the other, twining inner legs. You're getting turned on, lifting the leg bones up. Pull low belly down. Right now, leave the legs as they are. Inhale the head down. Stack your hands on your left thigh, mid-thigh. Exhaling, keeping the low back on the ground. Curling the tailbone, pull the thighs into the hands. The hands push the thighs. Keep the low back on the ground. Now, as you're pressing, the head, the neck, the face are supremely relaxed. Pull low belly down. We'll try it again. Inhaling into the low back. It's very active to keep the low back down with this weight configuration. Exhale, curling the tailbone. Pressing thigh into thigh, pulling. Thighs into hands, hands pressing thighs. Head, neck, lips relaxed. Pull low belly down. And release. Inhale, unwind. All right, let's do the other side. We'll cross the right over the left. Foot behind calf, if that works. Interlace hands behind head. Inhale, the head and shoulders off the ground. Breathing into the back. So you're feeling the back bones. They receive the breath, they move with the breath. Exhale, curling the tailbone, thigh press thigh. Lifting thighs into the sky, not the feet, just the thighs. Pull low belly down. Inhaling, relaxing a little bit. Keep the head, shoulders up. And exhale, curling tailbone. Lifting thighs, keeping the feet knee height or lower. Pull low belly down. What can you get moving? What can you start to feel for the first time today? Inhaling, relaxing the tailbone down. Keeping the head, shoulders up. And exhale, shifting the tailbone. Let the thighs work one onto and into the other, reaching them up. Pull low belly down. The feet are active, and you can work with that low belly. Kind of just reaching, feeling inside that hip bone area. Inhale the head down, keep the feet as they are. Stack your hands on that right thigh. Exhale, curling tailbone. Pull the thighs into the hands, and the hands push back into the thighs. Pulling. So you're getting that hip flexor pretty excited. Pull low belly down with that hip flexor involved. It's a really important muscle to have strong. Inhale into the low back. And exhale. Pull the legs into the hands. It's necessary. We not just stretch the hip flexor, we need strong ones too. Pull low belly down. Tight doesn't always mean strong. And then release, inhaling, unwind. We'll set the head down. Exhaling the feet down. Okay. So we can do some gate opener. And then if you don't have an object, you can do this as straddle lifting through. They can be all straddle. Okay. So with the prop between the legs, we'll start with the legs up. Hand supporting head. Inhale into low belly, low back. Hold that. Squeeze the object, getting the inner legs right up into that knee. Curling tailbone. Exhale. Head, shoulders lift off the ground. Pull low belly down. Take left hand to the roll. Inhale, straddle the legs apart. So if you don't have an object, just do all straddle with us. Exhale, curling the tailbone, reach out through the legs, draw the low belly down. Inhale, bring the legs together, set the head down. Squeeze the object. Curling tailbone. Exhale, lift the head, shoulder blades up. Pull low belly down. Right hand to roll. Inhale, straddle legs apart. Exhale. So using the hand on the roll, pushing that soft object to the pubic bones, and then working the pubic bones back up into the roll. This will play in massively when you want to do things like piking, straddle pike. So figuring out how to move like that, just some practicality there. Draw the low belly down. Inhale, bring the legs together, set the head down. Squeeze the object, curling tailbone. You're going to stay with that. Exhale, float the head, the shoulder blades up. So you can go into the squeeze, even if it's a little shaky. A lot of times these muscles connect very deeply to the low back. And pull the low belly down. Follow it. Follow it in. All right, left hand to roll. Inhale, straddle the legs. Exhaling, curling tailbone. Let that hand push the mat onto the pubic bone. And the pubic bone can press up into that roll. You'll find some abdominals doing that. Pull low belly down. Inhale and gather the legs vertically around the object. Setting head down. Squeeze the object. Curling tailbone. Exhale, head, shoulder blades up. Pull low belly down. Right hand to roll. Inhale, straddle legs apart. Exhale, curling tailbone. Reaching out. Pull low belly down. Inhale and gather the legs vertically, setting the head down. Squeeze the object. Curling tailbone. Exhale, head and shoulders up. Pull low belly down. Inhaling, set the head down. Exhaling, set the feet down. If these tools, these techniques help difficult sensations show up, that's wonderful. It means we can investigate things very deeply. We can go there on a regular basis and investigate. All right, so let's ready for dolphin. And you can, if you want, to set your feet near a wall. So if you want that little extra support that the wall offers when we raise leg up to you. And when your neck head can relax, exhale the knees off the ground. Dolphin. Now you may just have to shift shoulders over elbows momentarily or frequently, and then push. When the shoulders are over the elbows, push will generally give us that sense of the rib cage moving toward the sky. We might miss that if the shoulders have drifted behind the elbows, further from the hands. Right? So you may have to make that adjustment. Create that push, which will get more of that chest and armpit supporting you. Now when that chest and armpit support you, inhale and feel the upper back receiving your breath. Those are ribs, those are tissues, those are spine joints. Let's raise the left leg. So you can do this to the wall to give you supported work, or without the wall. Inhaling into the left side of your waist and your pelvis. So we've just done some abdominals. So we just warmed up, queued up, breathing into our low back, breathing into our low belly. Now as you exhale, send that leg, that left leg, send it away from your low belly, from your low back, from your intestines. Reach that out. The wall is also that nice way to know if you're swiveling on that one grounded leg, the right hip. It's very good information to have when it comes to things like balancing. Now keep breathing into the low back and the low belly. And you can use that wall, touching that wall, to help you breathe into that low back, into that belly. These are just my observations. They're not facts. They're just, they're not. But often when I see kind of our low backs kind of smush down on one side in these dolphin variations, it's challenging to, often we start to breathe into our chest and when we need to breathe into our low back. All right, let's go to the other side. Set the left foot down. And we'll draw the right leg up. Set that right foot down, knees down. Exiting. Okay. So if you're by the wall, we'll stay by the wall. But we'll be taking our next moves at the wall, so just snuggle up. We'll stand for a moment, chest opener. So if I start with my right side, that's right foot forward, wall at my right side, right hand to the wall just out of my peripheral vision. Deep warrior one stance. I want you to sink into this warrior. We just did a bunch of stuff with that hip flexor. So now you can start to open and reach that left leg down, away from the abdomen. Inhaling into abdomen, into the right chest. Letting this front side of body soften with breath. And then exhaling, just moving more deeply into the stance. That will alter your chest stretch. Keep those deep breaths. Keep them rich. There's no need to go into that deficit breathing that I was just upside down and I just got to catch my... No, just go right into deep breath. Give yourself the breath that you need. Release, we'll switch sides. All the way up to the sternum. All the way up to those ribs connecting into the sternum, all the way up to that collar. So, escorting breath into these deepest reaches of the chest wall. In part, that's that concentration, that stick-to-itiveness, that willingness and the ability to stay with and see, to feel the breath reaching those areas. So don't rely on just happenstance or luck or, that's my intention, it'll get there. No, you have to see, feel it, escort it, hand in hand, with the breath till you feel, confirm, breath, right there. And then release. We're setting up dolphin at the wall. So shoulders are going to get lots of love today. Feet about, 6 inches from the wall. That way when we press up, the heels will be very close, skimming the wall even. All right, let's step up. Inhale, foot hip height. And exhaling, other foot hip height. Set feet down. Get a little rest. And I want to show you something, because we're going to go into a second round. Okay, so I think my feet are visible to you. So my feet are pointing the same direction. So if I had a midline to my foot, I use my strap to show you my line. Right. My foot is kind of running in this parallel scheme here. When we go up again, your feet on the wall, we're going to just very slightly internally rotate. So when I internally rotate, my heels go a little wider than my toes. My toes go a little narrower than my heels. Right. So so the echo here is from our twining vine. That's a lot of internal rotation. We're just giving it another iteration of that internal rotation. So you can feel it another way. You can feel it through your back. Right. So let's go again. That was plenty of rest. Reset. And exhaling, we'll press the knees up. Release, letting the weight of the head go. And then inhale, step foot up, hip height. Exhale, the other foot up, hip height. And just this very slight turn in of the toes or out of the heels. And I'm working the legs pretty strongly. I'm engaging the legs, letting the pelvis kind of sink, meld, and move around the thigh bones. Okay, when you've had enough of that, we'll just step down and exit. Okay, just an easy experiment, another way to just sense into the hips. When we miss areas of, what's the best way to say this? The clinical people would say missing degrees of rotation, I suppose. But I'm not a clinician, and to me it's more of the surfaces and the ways that we map our self-sense. We're not getting the most out of that surface communication, and so we're missing little bits of a sense of movement. We're missing a little bit of a sense of having a little more hip or a little more elbow or a little bit more body. Right? So just little ways to just flesh in and redraw. Oh, there's more. There's more. Let's stand at the top. Inhaling, chair, and pelvis lowers around the thigh bones. Arms reach up. Exhale, fold. Pelvis moves the top over those thigh bones. The head and neck relax. Monkey. Inhale. The ribs lengthen away from the low back. And exhale, step back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhaling, downward dog. Warrior one. Inhale, right foot forward. Plant feet, torso comes up, arms come up. Exhaling to sink into this warrior one. We're here for a moment. And by sink, I don't mean compress. By sink, I mean descend. So those leg tissues start to spread and work. And those leg tissues, muscles all around the hip. So it's not a sink as in collapsing into the joints. It's deepening the activation, deepening the stretch, the workingness through the legs. There you go. So as long as there's no pain, come on in. So deep in bend knee. Maybe I'm seeing a different angle there. Yeah, if you just feel kind of kneesy or anklesy, you don't really feel the muscles, just adjust the feet. Get in there, feel that you've got some leg meat. And then you can always stretch and reach that leg back, heel to ground. Okay, well, you can call on your muscles to call up a deeper breath. Right, these are all just tools. Inhale, bring the hands down to the ground. Exhale, step back, chaturanga. Inhaling, upward dog. Push the palms away from the collar. Pull the chest away from the tops of the feet. Exhaling, downward dog. Let's see what we got on warrior one, other side. Inhale the left foot forward. Plant the feet. Torso comes up, arms come up. Foot first, then the body will follow the foot. Yeah, so where does your stance go, or where does your stance set up so that you're deeply attuned to the substance of your legs? The substance. Inhale, bring the hands down to the ground. Exhaling, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhaling, downward dog. All right, arrow lunge. Inhale the right foot forward. So we're setting the knee down for a moment in order to set the top of the left foot down. Then exhaling, press down through the top of the left foot. The knee lifts. Only if it feels all right on the knee, no pain. Now reach, especially through that big toe, side of the foot. We're not twisting the foot in any funny way, but by feeling that reach out through the big toe, we can more thoroughly connect to that inner leg, inner knee to inner groin. So feel for that. How do you sense in the foot in a way that lights up the entire inner leg? Now, once you're certain, there's that inner leg, I've got its support, deepen breath into the back bones, the lumbar back bones. Statically stomp with that right foot and start to grow the torso up away from the pelvis. As you exhale, press a little bit more. The tailbone and just slightly shift, finding downward. And inhale, use the arms, lift the mid ribs, the upper ribs up away from the pelvis. As you're exhaling, keep finding that left foot pressure that gets you in contact with that inner leg line of support. And softly, softly set that left knee down. Set the hands down. Inhaling. Curl the back toes under. Oh, it's a lungy time today. Exhale, reach the heel back. Again, the knee lifts off the ground. Walking the hands up. Let these deep poses, hopefully they're deep, let them help you call on a deeper breath. So instead of dialing back the poses to keep breathing in your preferred habitual range, let the poses ask of you, how would you breathe to serve this different kind of way of working with energy? So deepen in. If there's no pain, come on and get it. Come on and get it. Inhaling, coming back up. We'll set the hands down. Exhaling, chaturanga. Drawing the shoulders away from the jaw. Inhale, upward dog. Press tops of feet down. And as you're pulling, drawing the torso forward, feel those two legs, feel those two hips, feel those two sides of your low back. Getting breath there to feel. Exhale, press back, downward dog. Arrow lunge. Inhale, step the left foot forward. For the moment, place knee down, place top of right foot down. Exhaling, push top of right foot down. The knee lifts, the arms lift. Arrow lunge. Woo. All right. So we're going to steady in here. So strong line of energy through that inner right leg. Now that left leg, that left foot, statically stomping as if you're on the brink of pressing yourself right up out of here. What that will do is give you muscles engagement that lets you support the joint. Yeah, exactly. So I push. You feel that little almost buoyancy, like you're on the brink of standing up. That's how that left. There we go. Oh, good. Okay, we're just starting. This is good. We're just starting. Brave. That's your call to breath. That's your call to change breath, not change pose. Yes. Now that breath goes somewhere new. That breath does something else. That feels different. You want energy? We'll go mining. All right, so inhale, set that right knee down, curl the back toes under. Exhale, press that knee off the ground. Lunge, heel up, knee up. So when you found a well, start to draw from that well into the mid-back, into the upper back, into those places that may not be so breath responsive, into those patterns that maybe no longer serve us. Maybe it's the way that we hold that heart shielded. Start to move that breath through there, breaking that up. You can start to dissolve that. Even just altering it for a moment can be such an informative move. There you go. Inhaling, we'll set the hands down. That's fun. Exhaling, chaturanga. I wouldn't give you anything I haven't done myself many times. Inhale, upward dog, tops of feet press. So the abdomen lengthens away from those hip flexors. Exhaling, downward dog. When we inhale the right foot forward, we're setting the left knee down. I'd like for you to have the left knee padded for, accounted for in comfort. Okay. And we're walking the right leg forward. Splits. Okay. So again, this doesn't have to be a super stretchy situation. If you have to do strong things with your legs later, I'd recommend being extremely mild in that right leg stretch. If you're doing strong or fast things later, I recommend you be very light on that front leg stretch feeling. Okay? But what this position can give everyone is the practice moment of breathing down into the pelvic floor, into the low abdomen, to feel breath in and with the genitals, the sacrum, and in fact, I'd really kind of prefer us working with that sense of breath in the pelvis prominent, even more so than that stretch stuff. So much of our muscular movement information is predicated on breath and breath occurring in and with those muscles. Like the stimulus and the movement of breath in the joints and the muscles seems to be a foundation for how the muscles can actually move and author skillful movement. All right, inhale, we'll draw that right foot back, that's plenty. Lounge lunge, plant that left hand, right arm hugs the right thigh. This is just like arrow lunge. Reach back through that inner left foot. Reach back. Send back. Strong line of energy through that left leg. Nice. Inhaling, unwind, hands under shoulders. Exhaling, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. So one of the hopes is these upward dogs are getting easier for your back. Exhaling, downward dog. And inhale the left foot forward. We're working splits. So have the right knee padded. We'll walk the left leg forward. So just a reminder, I know I'm repeating myself, but if you're doing strong things or fast things later, if you're going for a sprint, or you're going to your CrossFit and doing some like snatches later, like just dial way back on the stretch sensation. Just move the legs far enough apart that you can feel breath in and with the pelvis. Okay? Oh, interesting. So just as you're situating, I know you're situating and finding your breath and finding your feet. That's great. Just one more noticing when you feel your breath, how is your throat? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So softening the abdomen so that as breath descends and spreads, you feel that with the backbones. You feel that with the pelvic floor. Those are muscles. Muscles, tissues. All right, inhale. Let's walk that left foot back. Plant that right hand, lounge, lunge. Exhaling, hug that thigh with the left arm. And strong line of reach. Let's not forget about that leg. Strong line of reach right through the big toe tip. And inhaling, unwind, hands under shoulders. Exhaling, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And exhaling, downward dog. All right. Inhale, step or lightly jump feet forward, monkey. So lift, lengthen the chest away from the abdomen. Exhale, fold, drawing those belly muscles in, allowing the spine to soft hang down. Chair, bending knees, inhale. Feel the pelvis just glide around those thigh bones, raising the arms up. Exhaling, stand, hands to heart. And today we're going to keep pretty simple. While you're standing, we're just going to check right back in with our standing splits. So we've done this a few times lately. We'll go right foot, both hands. And we'll set that right foot down. We'll check in with left side. Left foot, both hands. And release. Have a seat. Place the soles of feet together. Baddha Konasana. And inhaling, grow the spine right up as if right out of the dirt. Right from the sit bones and the tailbone. Exhaling, fold forward. And press soles of feet together, the outer edge, the ball mounds. And deepen breath. Letting that breath be felt in and with your spine, your whole spine. It doesn't have to be a deep fold to get this, but your breath has to be deep to get it. And make sure you include the head. The head is part of the core. The head is, in a sense, part of the spine. The skull bones. And then inhale, come up. Use your hands. Your hands help your outer knees together. And lie back. Shavasana. And as you're resting, as you're lying, as you're resting, there's a soft inquiry of, and now how is this wilderness, this landscape, this inner landscape different or new? Maybe it's a predictably new way of arriving in our body. Maybe there's something altogether different that we've never experienced before. But feel what's different, and if you need a point of comparison, say an hour ago. Compare with that. And so what are you noticing? Is it physical? Is it emotional, attitude? Is it the way that you see yourself or talk to yourself? Is it mental? Does it have more of a energetic difference? Does your body feel lighter, denser, dimmer, brighter? It matters to notice this difference. One, that we have a confirmation of the potency and the import of our practice, of our going in time. And two, it's so important to recognize just how changing our inner state and our bodily state is. We aren't stuck. There's much, much that we can do for ourselves. When you're ready, bend knees. Turn to a side. Use hands and press. Just seated. Right. We've moved all the things and hopefully we know ourselves better. Namaste.